Today we're going to look at the Headway Plus book, and it's to do with listening and vocabulary, and also we're on pages 44 and 45 in Unit 5 of this particular book, and my name is Mr. Paul, and welcome to our demonstration lesson here in Saudi Arabia. So today we're looking at listening and vocabulary, and it's to do with a weather forecast. First of all, I'd like to ask Mr. Gregory, what kind of seasons do you have in your country?
I guess all the regular ones, teacher.
So when you say the regular ones, what do you mean exactly?
Summer, followed by autumn, followed by winter, followed by spring.
So you also say autumn, like the British, they say autumn. Yes.
Yeah, in fact South Africa was a part of Britain up until 1969, so we've still had many British customs and ways of thinking.
So what's summer like in South Africa?
In Johannesburg, which is more or less in the centre of the country,
Yes.
the temperature gets up to around about 36, maybe 37 during summer, and they also have rain in summer.
Oh.
Down on the coast, in Cape Town, in summer the maximum temperature would be possibly 32 or 33, not as hot. They have a lot of wind. They have the southeaster, which blows very strongly on occasion.
Yes.
They call it the Cape Doctor because it blows all of the pollution of the city out to sea.
That's it.
And in Cape Town they have winter rain. It rains in winter, and in summer it is dry. Which is why at the moment they've been having a drought in Cape Town.
Oh, I see.
Most of the dams are down to 14 or 15%, and the rainy season is now finished until next year, so there's a lot of concern about the lack of water there at the moment.
Okay, so when you say a drought, what do you mean by the word drought?
They've had very little rain over the past 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
So there's been no water flowing into the dams, and the dams have been getting lower and lower.
Okay. Mr. Liu, can you tell me about the... well, I know America is a very big country, and you have different seasons, I suppose, where you go, will vary. But what about in Los Angeles? What kind of seasons do you have there?
We normally have a very warm, sunny summer. It gets warm and sunny in late June, and it stays that way until early October. In October, we start to have the weather cool down, maybe from the 90s Fahrenheit to the 70s Fahrenheit. We normally still get relatively warm, sunny days through December and January. And then we have kind of a rainy season. It goes from February until around May. And then in May and June, it warms up a bit. But it does stay kind of cloudy until late June when it gets warm again for the summer.
Thank you. That's very interesting. Because, you know, I've looked at a few things here about the weather forecast. And in Britain, we have winter, summer, spring and autumn. Also, autumn in America is referred to as fall, when the leaves fall. So that's a very logical thing. And but we say autumn. I don't know why we say that, but we do. And in Britain, we do have a lot of cloud. People think it rains in Britain every day. This is totally false. It's a fallacy. Something that's a fallacy is something which is not true, but people believe it to be true, although it's not. In fact, we do have warm weather, but we get a lot of cloud, and that's the biggest problem. As soon as you go out in Britain, it could be a nice sunny day, and you go out, you're out for half an hour, and it starts raining. And then you think, I'll just go home and take my umbrella, or get my umbrella. And you get home, and it stops raining. And the sun comes out again. And they say the reason for this is because of the position of the British Isles and where they're actually positioned. The weather is so changeable, it's so unpredictable. Unpredictable means we don't know if it's going to rain, if it's going to thunder, lightning. And thunder is when you hear the noise, when you get a big black cloud and you hear this rumbling noise in the skies above, in the heavens above. Anyway, so we have very changeable weather in Britain. And this is why a lot of people in Britain, they choose to take their holidays in Spain. And the reason for this is, in Spain you are guaranteed the sun. Now we do have sunny weather, we have a lot of hot summers, but the problem is, after 6 weeks it's finished. We have very short summers, and we don't always get a guaranteed sunny summer because of the cloud that often appears. So rather than people think it rains all the time in Britain, I think if we said it's very cloudy for a lot of the time, we'd be closer to the truth. Let's have a look at what we have here about the sun. So we have sunny. What does sunny mean to you, Mr. Gregory? Sunny weather, what's that?
It means there are no clouds, and if you go outside, the sun will shine on you.
Yes. And we'll go now to snowing. What does that mean to you, Mr. Lou? Snowing?
Kind of like a light, fluffy, frozen rain drifting down the skies of the earth.
Yes. So what colour is snow?
White.
White, yes. What does it mean, Mr. Gregory? Windy. Do you have this problem in South Africa? A lot of windy kind of situations?
In Cape Town, yes, you quite often get, like I said earlier, the Cape Doctor, which is a howling southeaster.
Oh, howling. That's an interesting piece of vocabulary. What do you mean by howling?
It makes a noise as it blows past the buildings and over openings and so on.
Well, what kind of noise? Can you give us some idea?
Sort of thing.
So that is howling.
Well, yeah, not howling as with a wolf. A wolf would be more like, oh.
Oh, I see.
This is the wind making a noise.
It sounds like a Chinese person, doesn't it? Howling. Anyway, moving on. Then we have fog. Fog. What about fog, Mr. Lou? Fog. What's fog?
Fog is like clouds that are very, very low lying, so low that they actually do touch the earth.
I see. What colour is fog?
White.
Okay.
The teacher, would you say it is fogging outside today?
No, you can say it's very foggy. It's very foggy outside. You can't put it in the continuous form because it is what it is. And
is fog the same as smog?
no, actually, I've heard people say to me, oh, in London, there's a lot of smog. Well, this was true 100 years ago. Times have moved on. The small houses with the low-level chimneys, the chimney is the brickwork like that on top of the house where the smoke exits. And these chimneys now, they don't exist anymore. The buildings are higher up. The houses, a lot of houses now, they've gotten rid of the fireplace. You know, you would have a fireplace with wood and paper and coal, and that would heat the house. But now, most houses are centrally heated with radiators that are full of either water or oil, and they generate the heat in the house. So the idea that there's smog in London nowadays is totally false. If you go out of London, you do get fog, especially around the M25 motorway in the winter seasons, because it comes off of the fields. And for those of you who don't know, the M25 motorway is an orbital motorway. It goes round like it's orbiting, like the Earth and the Sun, they are on an orbital path. It's like the motorway, the M25. It's an orbital motorway. And beyond the M25 are the fields, the farmers' fields. So if it's been raining overnight, the moisture comes up from the fields as it starts to warm up, producing this fog. And it's like a very white sheet. And so we often have accidents on the motorways where the drivers are driving too close. If there's, for example, I'll just give you an example. If you're driving too close in fog on the motorway, you don't have time to stop. Because if there's fog, you cannot see the car in front. So this driver will not be able to see this driver that he's so close, and if he stops, then you have a collision. That's called a collision. So we have lots of problems like that due to fog coming in off the fields, affecting drivers on our motorways, in particular the M25. So the adjective Please read the adjectives, Mr. Gregory.
It's sunny, it's rainy, it's snowy, it's windy, it's cloudy, it's stormy, it's foggy, it's icy.
Thank you very much. Mr. Liu, please read the nouns.
Sunshine, rain, snow, wind, cloud, storm, thunderstorm, fog, ice.
And the verb is the sun's shining, it's raining, it's snowing, the wind's blowing. Okay, do that. Now we're going to look at the map of Western Europe. Here's a map of Western Europe. So, who can name some of these countries for me? Which country is this in number 1? What country is that?
Scotland.
Scotland, yes, Scotland. And what about number 2?
Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland, yes, that's right. What about number 3?
Wales.
Wales, it is Wales. And number 4?
England.
England, yes. And someone was talking about Devon before. Devon is down here in the southwest. Let's move over here just a bit. So here we have like Scandinavia. I'm not sure which one's which. You've got like Sweden, Norway, Finland in Scandinavia, Denmark. What about number 7? What country is that?
France.
France, yes. And what about this, number 5? Anybody know number 5?
The Netherlands.
Spain.
The Netherlands, Holland. What about number 6?
Belgium.
Belgium. Let's go down here. Yes, Gregory, number 8?
Spain.
Spain. And this part is Portugal. This is another separate country. And we go over here. There's some other countries in Europe. See if we know them. Anybody tell me what country this is? Or what part? Yes?
Germany.
Germany, yeah. And then I think over here probably we have Poland. Down here, of course, we have Italy. And here are the Alps here, look. Oh, it's here, yeah. There it is.
No, it's between Spain and France, isn't it?
No, it's the smallest one, look there. Andorra. You see that? That little gap there? That's Andorra, that's Luxembourg. Yeah. Yeah, and that's Belgium. Belgium, Andorra, Luxembourg. Anyway, so we have a number of countries to look at here. And we're looking at the weather in these countries. I think Mr. Liu is going to look it up on the map to find out if we're wrong or right. So let's go up here. Right. Now, we named some of them. Now, which countries make up Scandinavia? Which countries make up Scandinavia?
Norway.
Finland, Norway, and Sweden.
Yeah, Norway, Denmark, Finland, Sweden. And Mr. Liu, can you talk to Mr. Gregory about the climate in Scandinavia?
Scandinavian climate is generally very cold. They have the northern lights at certain times of the year, which are very beautiful. A lot of snow. In certain times of the year, they get very, very little sunlight. Off the top of my head, that's what I have.
So would you like to ask him some questions about what he has off the top of his head?
About Finland?
Well, yeah, Scandinavia. Anyway.
Scandinavia.
Because I know he's a mine of information.
Yeah. What are the northern lights caused by? I've heard about them.
It's when the Earth is tilted at a certain angle and the sunlight actually slips over the top of that part of the Earth. It's just, a very beautiful light spectacle that you can see in extremely northern parts of the globe.
Yes, in Aberdeen, in the north of Scotland, we have Aberdeen, north of Scotland, and they do have the Northern Lights. You can see it from Aberdeen. Let's have a look. So we were talking about these different countries. And the very small country here, Andorra, in another dimension could possibly be called Torrid, hence the man from Torrid. But that's a another story. So what do you think the weather's like in places like Belgium, Andorra, Luxembourg? Torres. Yeah, what's the weather like there?
They're pretty okay, I would think.
Pretty okay, doesn't really tell me much. What's okay for one person might not be okay for another person. I'm talking about the actual climate itself.
I would say it would be fairly moderate. It doesn't become too cold.
Not too cold.
And probably have rain similar to what you have in England. Probably a lot of cloudy.
I think they probably have a bit more. Well, I don't know, you could be right. Yeah, about the same, yeah, maybe.
Because it's the same sort of general
Yeah.
geographical area.
It is, yeah. So let's go back here. Do you think they would have more rain in Scotland than in England? What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they probably would have. Let's go down. Let's go back up here. Okay. Where are we? Oh, we're here now. So we'll have a look at that. So, here we are. Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland. This is Scandinavia. So who can tell me, what is the capital of Denmark?
Copenhagen.
Copenhagen, yes. And what's the capital of Finland?
Helsinki.
Very good. And what's the capital of, what was the other country? Sweden.
Stockholm.
Yes, that's right. Very good. Thank you for that. Marvellous. So now we're going to do some listening. Listen to the weather forecast and make notes about your part. When you finish, swap information. Are you ready? Okay, let's begin. I think I'll open the script to help you with this. Let's move that up there. So now we're going to listen to the weather forecast where you can make notes and we may exchange information. Let's listen.
Tape script 5.6. A weather forecast.
And here's the weather for some popular destinations in Western Europe for the next 24 hours.
A.
Let's begin in the north. I'm afraid spring isn't here yet. Another major frontal system will move in from the Atlantic, affecting Northern Ireland and Scotland before moving on to Scandinavia. It's going to bring plenty of rain, which could fall as snow on Scottish mountains, so it will feel very chilly everywhere. Temperatures around 5 or 6 degrees at best in the rain, but much lower in snowy areas, where they will stay around freezing all day. You'll be lucky to see 2 degrees.
B.
Moving south now into England and Wales, most of northern France and across through Belgium and Holland. Things look more spring-like here, and it will be a lot brighter than in recent weeks. Along Channel Coast especially, there may be a little rain at first, with temperatures reaching only 8 degrees. Inland, however, there will be more sunshine than showers, with all areas becoming warmer and drier as the day goes on. Towards the end of the day, temperatures could be as high as 15 degrees in these regions. The winds will be light, coming from the south, but it will feel very pleasant.
C.
If you're lucky enough to be going to southern France or Spain, you'll find the best of today's weather. In the far south of Spain, mainly clear skies, lots of sun with high temperatures for the time of year up to 24 degrees, and everywhere else 18 or 19 degrees with some cloud. But it's not all good news. Strong winds along the southern French coast could spoil your evening walk.
D.
Further east, across the Alps from Switzerland into northern Italy, there are the remains of another weather system. There will be stormy weather during the day, with thunder and lightning bringing over 2 inches of rain to some lowland areas and heavy snow to the mountains. Strong winds and rain will continue most of the day. The winds will make it feel much cooler for the time of year, with temperatures struggling to reach 10 degrees. And watch out for early morning fog. So that's it. A quick tour of Western Europe, not bad in central countries, warm and sunny in Spain, cool, wet and windy in parts of Italy and Switzerland. Oh, and stay away from those Scottish mountains unless you're wearing warm clothes.
Would you like to hear it again? Yes, okay.
Tape script 5.6. A weather forecast.
And here's the weather for some popular destinations in Western Europe for the next 24 hours.
A.
Let's begin in the north. I'm afraid spring isn't here yet. Another major frontal system will move in from the Atlantic, affecting Northern Ireland and Scotland before moving on to Scandinavia. It's going to bring plenty of rain, which could fall as snow on Scottish mountains, so it will feel very chilly everywhere. Temperatures around 5 or 6 degrees at best in the rain, but much lower in snowy areas, where they will stay around freezing all day. You'll be lucky to see 2 degrees.
B.
Moving south now into England and Wales, most of northern France and across through Belgium and Holland. Things look more spring-like here, and it will be a lot brighter than in recent weeks. Along Channel Coast especially, there may be a little rain at first, with temperatures reaching only 8 degrees. Inland, however, there will be more sunshine and showers, with all areas becoming warmer and drier as the day goes on. Towards the end of the day, temperatures could be as high as 15 degrees in these regions. The winds will be light, coming from the south, but it will feel very pleasant.
C.
If you're lucky enough to be going to southern France or Spain, you'll find the best of today's weather. In the far south of Spain, mainly clear skies, lots of sun with high temperatures for the time of year up to 24 degrees, and everywhere else 18 or 19 degrees with some cloud. But it's not all good news. Strong winds along the southern French coast could spoil your evening walk.
D.
Further east, across the Alps from Switzerland into northern Italy, there are the remains of another weather system. There will be stormy weather during the day, with thunder and lightning bringing over 2 inches of rain to some lowland areas and heavy snow to the mountains. Strong winds and rain will continue most of the day. The winds will make it feel much cooler for the time of year, with temperatures struggling to reach 10 degrees. And watch out for early morning fog. So that's it. A quick tour of Western Europe, not bad in central countries, warm and sunny in Spain, cool, wet and windy in parts of Italy and Switzerland. Oh, and stay away from those Scottish mountains unless you're wearing warm clothes.
And that brings to a conclusion our weather lesson today. It's our demonstration lesson from the Headway Plus book here in Saudi Arabia at Al Jazeera International Academy. And I hope you got at least something from this lesson, because I know that all of you are going to do really well with your English language and all that it encompasses. Thank you very much for being with us today. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you, teacher.